What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, and we're also going to get into some altcoins as well. And what we're going to be doing is looking at Bitcoin and the altcoins on the one-day time frame. We've been doing a lot of work on the 4-hour time frame, so I wanted to step back to the one-day today and take a bigger picture look at what's going on with Bitcoin and the altcoins here. So if you get some from these videos, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, help this channel out. It's always greatly appreciated. So what Bitcoin has done now, yesterday we had a daily candle close back up above the 20 EMA. And as we've talked about, typically in bull markets and uptrends, for the most part, we stay up above that. Sometimes we can get wicks down into the 50, even down to that 100. But a lot of the times we'll have candle closes up above this 20. And you can see even here, once we broke out of this symmetrical triangle on October 8th, we stayed up above in terms of candle closes up above that 20 the entire time. So we have now only had about 2 days where we closed below that 20, and yesterday we closed back up above it again on a bullish engulfing candle. Now the only thing I would say is it didn't come on a massive amount of volume, because what we're trying to do now is keep that as our higher low, this area of roughly $18,020. We want that to be our higher low. We're going to try to push back up through now and see if we can get up over top of $19,580. That's going to be the next main area of overhead resistance we're going to be looking at. Then it'd be up around that all-time high of 19,936. But we're looking to see if we can hold this higher low. That's what's most important here. Even if we start moving sideways a little bit, that's okay, because we need to power up so we can get up through that 19,936. Now on the RSI, we're at 59 right now, so we have plenty of room to do it. If the whales want to step in and say this is the time, we're going to finally have those blue sky breakouts, we have the room to do it. We're at 60 on the RSI. The MACD here, you can see our cross to the downside was back November 25th, and since then we've been below. Histogram starting to turn a little bit more neutral there, and we're getting a little bit of a hook here for the MACD. So we're looking to see if we can get that MACD crossed as well on heavier volume, hold this higher low, get up through 19,580. In terms of support, like we talked about, we would want to end up holding, we'll call it $18,000 on the button, as well as that 20 EMA, and that's roughly going to be at 18,444. So we don't want to drop much below that. If I were you, I'd put an alarm up here at around that 19,575, so you know we're getting up close to this area, as well as that $18,000 in case we do start rolling back over, and this is just some type of lower high here in the short term. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on that. If we get into the technicals for Bitcoin here, we have a 2-sell 10 neutral and a 16 buy. Moving averages are very strong because we're up above our 20, 50, 100, 200. Oscillators cooling off a little bit there. We have a 2-sell 9 neutral and a 0 buy. The sell is going to be our momentum and the MACD right now. All the rest is fairly neutral. Okay, so that's going to be Bitcoin. Really keep an eye on those areas, guys. Next, we're going to get into Ethereum at $584. Okay, so for Ethereum, came down here, we ended up finding support roughly at $534. Since then, we had our bullish engulfing candle on the one-day time frame. Been trying to move back up, having candle closes up above our 20 EMA there, so that's a good thing. Want to continue to keep this as our higher low. What we're going to do is see if we can go up and challenge and break through roughly about $600 next is going to be the main target for us. We struggled a lot up in this area. So we first hit around $600 back in November, late November, and since then we've just really been chopping sideways in this area. And what you want to see is increased volume. Okay, today's still early, but yesterday's bullish engulfing candle did not come on a ton of volume. We would have wanted to see it on a big swell of volume here, so that's something we do need to be careful of as we're trying to test some of these higher levels and beat this overhead resistance. You need that buying pressure to be able to get up through there. So let's see if we can get through $600, keep this bullish engulfing candle, these higher lows. In terms of support, we don't want to drop much below $544 right now would be the area that I'm looking at. RSI sitting at 56. MACD, we have not had a cross to the upside yet, but histogram starting to get a little bit more neutral there. If we get into the technicals for Ethereum, see it's a little bit stronger than Bitcoin right now. We have a 1-sell 9 neutral 18 buy. This on the one-day time frame. Oscillators 1-sell 8 neutral and a 2 buy. Moving average is looking strong there. So in my opinion, what we need is buying pressure today to get us up through some of those key critical levels. Okay, so XRP next we'll get into. XRP, we have found support at about 48 cents right there. We want to keep an eye on this throughout the day today. If we could close like that, this could be some tweezer bottoms here off support. So we'd keep an eye on that. Maybe that potentially could be that bottom area for us, so we can start moving back to the upside. If we can end up holding roughly about 48 cents as support, we'd look up to 54 cents as resistance, and then that'll also correlate around our 20 EMA as well at 54 cents, right in that range. So right now, we have not had the daily candle close, but this would almost be like a tweezer bottom Harami pattern here if this is how the candle closes for the day. But we still have a lot of day left here, guys, and we're just going to have to see what we end up doing. So I would put an alarm or alert about 48 cents, then I'd put it also up there about that 54 cents, and we're just going to have to see what happens for XRP. This could be something that's explosive, where this is it here. We've finally found our downtrend, or our bottom of our downtrend here, and if we do get this back moving to the upside, guys, it could really move hard and fast, because that's what happens with XRP. When the volume comes in, it just explodes. So once it finds that bottom and the buyers do step back in, the price range can get pretty ridiculous. And that just is what it is for XRP, guys. The RSI right now is at 50, so we have plenty of room to make moves if we want to continue this run to the upside here. Right now we have a 9 sell, 7 neutral, 12 buy. Overall summary, oscillators 2 sell, 6 neutral, 3 buy, and then moving average 7 sell, 1 neutral, and a 9 buy, and that's because we are below that 20 EMA now on the 1-day time frame. But you can see the volume, how much volume came in here after such a long time of almost no volume and no activity. So that's why it's so important to always keep an eye on the volume, guys. I'm always going to continue to harp on that. Next one, Litecoin's at $80 right now. Litecoin found support off the 50, so we went as low as that 50 moving average there, and that also correlated with $71. We had a bullish engulfing candle, not on a lot of volume. Can see that gap of volume right there, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on that. In terms of overhead resistance, let's turn this red. We were looking at that as support, so we're just going to turn red because it's overhead resistance now, so we need to get up through $80.32, then be up around $84.44 would be the area. RSI is at 53, MACD starting to get a little bit of that hook there, so this would be nice if this was our bottom here. If we can finally put that in and still be a higher low, we'd stay up above this purple trend line that we would extend out as well, and still up above our 50, 100, and our 200 moving average there. In terms of the technicals for Litecoin, take a look at this. We have a 4 sell, 8 neutral, 16 buy, oscillators 3 sell, 7 neutral, and a 1 buy, and then the moving average is 1 sell, 1 neutral, and a 15 buy for Litecoin. So put your alarms. In my opinion, I'd have one at about 71, 72, so you're alerted. If all of a sudden something happens and we start breaking to the downside there, then I'd also put one up here around 81, 71 would be the area that I'd be looking at. So that's Litecoin. You like me covering Litecoin, guys? Let me know you're here for Litecoin down low. OMG's at 330 right now. Zcash at 68.36. Bitcoin Cash 275. Neo at 1762. Dash $98. And people have asked me, I love Dash. I think that's a great project, guys. Let's take a look at Link here. So for Link, we had a little bit more of a retracement. We actually dipped below the 100 moving average here. You can see that in orange. We ended up having a bullish engulfing candle. We found support roughly at $11.42. So what we need to do now is get up through the 50 moving average and that 20, because remember, when we lose those, they're going to start acting as overhead resistance now. That's why we always want to try to stay up above them in uptrends, because now we have to fight to get back up above them. So I'm going to watch the volume, see if we can get up above the 50. That's going to be at $12.64. Then be up to around that 20 at $12.84 is what we'd be looking at for Link. And if we just zoom out here, take a look at this. Main thing in terms of longer term investing, what you want to see is us stay up above that 200 moving average. Even if we came back and tested, it's okay, but we don't want to start having daily candle closes below that. It's the #1 thing to watch for Link, in my opinion. Okay, so technicals, you can see it's a little behind right now. 12 sell, 9 neutral, 7 buy. Oscillators 3 sell, 8 neutral, and a 0 buy. So that's going to be Link. Watch those areas, guys, around that 1146, and then up there around that, even to as high as 1303. I'd take a look at. XTZ, we're at $2.16 right now on the 1-day time frame. We've given up a little bit of ground here. So when we had these long tweezers up here, there's some heavy selling pressure as well. What we're trying to do is still hold these higher lows. Tough part for Tezos here, we have to get back up through the 20, the 50, 100, and 200. We're trading below all of them on the one-day time frame, so I want you to be aware of that. In terms of support areas, roughly about that $2 is the main support area that I would look at for us. But you can see here, if we zoom out, we've ended that downtrend, and now we're almost in like that accumulation area here. And we started to try to really make that uptrend, but we had some failure there when Bitcoin started to dump as well. Kind of brought us down. RSI is at 46. MACD looks like it's getting ready to cross there, so we're just going to see if this can be the area now that we can set that higher low and then push back up through $2.27. We wicked as high as 303 at one point. So when this coin moves, it moves very aggressively, and we need to be aware of that. So in terms of the technicals, we have a 16 sell, 8 neutral, 4 buy, oscillators 3 sell, 7 neutral, and a 1 buy. Moving averages the strong sell because we're below all of them. And this happened before when we had this explosive move here. We were basically below all of them, and then we had that explosive move, a lot of volume come in. So anything can change really fast here in coins like Tezos. Okay, so just be aware of that, guys. Don't stress about anything. Right now, it's been more so of that accumulation area, in my opinion, for Tezos, as well as a lot of the other markets, guys. You know, we've entered the beginning of the bull market here in a lot of altcoins. We just have to be patient. And if anything, it gives you more time to prepare and get ready. So if you get some from this video, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friends.